Hi everybody, welcome back into another video. We are 8, or is it 9 weeks away from the start of TT. It's coming up quick. More questions? Let's get straight into it. Yeah, so another couple of weeks on from the last video and we are getting closer and closer and closer to TT. Still no bike and still no news on bikes, which is, yeah, it's frustrating, especially because the weather's changed now, hasn't it? We've got this nice week of weather, maybe a little bit longer, high pressure's settled in, and every night I'm thinking, it'd be nice to have a run out on the bike, get some miles in, get the thing running. But they'll be here when they're here. I'm pretty sure as soon as they've announced they're coming, it'll start to rain for a week straight, but that's sod's law, and there's worse problems to have than that, isn't there? So yeah, still no news on the bikes, but let's get straight into the first question. So first question, straight into it. It came from one of the comments from the last videos, and it comes from Jonathan Mackey. What are your experiences with riders and airbag suits? And what are your thoughts on their effectiveness? And after that, have you seen the helmet design for this year? So in the very early days of them, obviously you can imagine the TT course in comparison to smoother short circuits, the constant bumps and the undulations and the changes in road surface and things. It's way more aggressive here than anywhere else. And the electronics that read, oh, you're having an accident, sometimes got a false positive, and airbags have gone off. They have gone off on riders around here before, and obviously that can cause a massive issue. You're never going to expect it to happen, and imagine it's a huge shock if it does. Obviously it restricts your movement a little bit, and yeah, it has happened. It's happened on short circuits too, and it's something that when it initially came out, people said, oh, it's definitely not for the Ironman TT course, but it's been proven to be very, very good at preventing injury. And as we can all imagine, and it doesn't take a great deal of imagination to realise that some accidents that happen here, airbag suit's not going to matter. You know, there's an argument for a lot of the safety gear here in that ultimately it doesn't matter what you're wearing, sometimes it's just not going to matter. And that's the same on short circuits too. You know, some accidents, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's not going to, the outcome's not going to be any different. And it's just a little bit more prominent here of obviously the type of instances we have. But as you can imagine, a lot of the accidents that happen here, it doesn't really matter what you wear and it's not going to change the outcome. But you say that, you go to get yourself ready to go out and you're still going to want to put the best stuff on. You're still going to want to put one of these Arais on your head, not some cheap, unknown brand helmet that flexes when you know, pull it on your head. You still want to give yourself the best chance of everything, and so you want to wear the best gear, and if anything can give you a 1% increase in your chance of avoiding injury of any sort, you're going to do it. Obviously there's a cost of that, and that has to be considered too, financially. But yeah, there has been instances of riders coming in who've airbag suits have gone off, and I like to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time it happened. It's been a while now. You know, when these things first come out, they have their teething issues, and the problems are quickly found, rectified, fixed. And then a few years, it's all been sorted. And like I say, I can't remember the last time anybody pulled in with their airbag going off. So yeah, my thoughts on airbag suits: are they absolutely essential? No. Would I encourage somebody to wear one? Absolutely. Anything that gives you a bit of a chance against an injury, because they're not all going to be massive crashes here. Like I've spoke to you numerous times, you wouldn't believe the amount of small crashes that people have that they walk away from. And one of the main reasons they walk away from them is the safety gear is such a high standard now. Like the FIM standard that everyone's leathers, boots, helmet, gloves, everything has to reach is so high. It's like World Championship, World Superbike, MotoGP level. And that annoyed a lot of people initially because you had to spend a lot of money to have the gear that was certified at a level that would pass technical inspection at the TT. But you know, you can't put something on you that's too good. You know, you can't. So yeah, it's it's definitely the way forward, and I look forward to seeing any more advances in any of this stuff as we keep going forward. So the helmet design for this year, I did bring it up in a previous video at some point. Every January, pretty much when they have the bike show in Birmingham, Arai take the next design. It's already been done and signed off. And so yeah, here's some pictures again of it to show you what it looks like. Personally, I think it looks great. Obviously the color scheme is very similar to this, and it's like the new corporate sort of TT colors, which I do like. It would have been nice to have something a little bit different from last year's helmet because the colors are quite similar. But you know, can you have too much of a good thing? I think it's a nice lid, and can't wait to get my hands on it. As soon as I do, I'll be showing you on here. But we don't get them like way in advance or anything. We wait until Arai turn up here for TT, and typically I'll go and get my helmet a day or two before first practice because we have to wait for them to come here, set up, get the stalls all set up, and they come from Arai Europe, direct from Europe. So we have to wait for all those guys to come here and sort out. But we'll get the shout, your helmets are ready. Obviously we know what size we are because we have them every year. And they always feel a little bit tight to start with, like any new helmet does, until the padding gives a little bit. But it's better to have a little bit, to be a little bit tighter, and then just let it sort of slacken off over the next few days, rather than it be a little bit loose and get looser. So yeah, I mean, we get the pads changed and anything we need to sort of custom fit them if you need to. But yeah, we'll get the helmets a couple of days before first practice. And like I say, I'll show you as soon as I get it. And then the second one I got, not so much of a question, but more of a comment, and it came from Sean Knowles. He says, I think I'm the new owner of your TT bike from last year. So I've talked about this again in previous videos, and if any of you guys haven't seen it, but after we finish with the bikes, they go back to Honda, and then Honda will sell them on through one of their used dealer programs. Used to be Blackpool Honda, then it was Northwest Honda, but I'm not sure exactly if they all go to the same dealer now or how they do it. But yeah, Sean's managed to pick up one of our bikes, and it's kind of nice to know that, because sometimes you wonder where these bikes have ended up. Have they been completely stripped of all their Travel and Marshall identity, and they are just a 2022, 23 Honda Fireblade with a couple of thousand miles, one owner, ex-press bike, ex-demonstrator? Do they, I mean, I know from previous history that they have sold them in batches. I think it was 2018 and 2019, and they had them all lined up, and they still had the M's on, and they were advertising them as ex-Travel and Marshall bikes. And then they were kept that way, and I know there's a group of people who kept them and met up and sort of had a bit of a group going for the XTM bikes. But I'm not sure now if they're just getting rid of that identity and they want to keep them just as any other Fireblade. But anyway, hopefully Sean will see this and comment and let me know if it was sold to him through Honda as an XTM bike, or was it just a used Honda Fireblade. But yeah, Sean's got my bike. It's not my bike. Sean's got the bike I rode last year. And it's nice to know that somebody recognises I had it and now they've got it. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. It's nice to know that it's not just been, it's not had its identity sort of deleted and it's just become another bike that nobody knows the history of. I think it's a little bit sad in a way, especially when we have such a connection with them over that period. You know, I know they're only a tool, they're only a motorbike, but as bikers, we all know that you kind of, you create a different relationship with your motorbike than you do with just any other tool. It's quite a personal thing. It can be anyway, can't it? And obviously for us with those special Fireblades, it's just nice to know. Nice to know that somebody who watches the videos has got one and he's let me know. So Sean, if you're watching, let me know exactly how you got that. So that's it. Just a couple of questions answered quickly. Not too much waffle, not too much nonsense going on. Just a couple of quick ones. Answered them off. TT's come in 8 or 9 weeks and we'll be heading off down that hill again. But before that, we've got to get these bikes, and as soon as I know, you'll know, and we'll get the whole run-in procedure filmed and take you guys along for the ride. But thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.